Mic on.
Alrighty, good afternoon, everyone. It's October 15th here in Chicago, 2 p.m., as we make our way into the fourth game of the fall season here for the Illinois Tech League of Legends Varsity team. Uh, as part of the fall warm-up, let's take a look at the rosters that we're going to be having and their opponents. Teams are getting set up in the pick and ban uh, lobbies, so we'll go to that shortly, but just do a quick check for our roster for today. Um, Looks like it's going to be the same roster as expected. You're going to have Chenglong, Oscar, Weak Side Enjoyer in the top lane, Ramasami in the jungle, Ryu's in the mid, Zuriha in the bot, and Black Blank support. Led by their support team with the Swag Turtle and Pirate. They some info about the players. We've got Oscar as a master's student in his second year studying computer science, peaking at masters in 2023 from Spain. Ramasami as our jungler, second year studying computer science as well, peaking at Emerald 2 from Indonesia. Ryu's in the mid, studying AI in his third year, peaking at Emerald 3 in 2023 from North Carolina. Zuriha in the bot, studying computer science as well in his third year, GM from Vietnam. And last we got Black Blank there as a third year electrical engineer from South Korea, peaking at Emerald 3, and has been playing the game for almost 10 years. So, if you were here with us on Friday, Illinois Tech took a pretty convincing 1-0 win. A couple of, if you want to watch that video, that's there on our YouTube channel. We try to save all of the VODs that we record. But for today's opponent, though, you have University, Quebec, Trois-Rivières, I believe. So I think IIT's first international team that they're playing here for the fall season. But we've just grabbed an OPGG for a full list of players. But if we're actually looking into the specifics, you've got, let's see, a spectator link going on here right now. But also, if we take a look, you've got Wolfsea, Turtles, War, Tabernataco, Savaphobia. I only know that Tabernac is a unique French swear, so I got to assume he's doing some weird play on words there. But doing a quick compare, so you've got Wolfsea that they have there. I don't see him in this list of names. Turtles, looking at Emerald 4, Pleo Wars, Emerald 3, Tabernataco, Gold 2, and Samaphobia Plat 4. So a Plat Emerald team. It looks like you have a couple of diamonds kind of hidden in there, but it doesn't look like they're fielding that roster for the moment. So looking like both teams want to elect to go for a pick ban draft through the online portal. So taking a look there, it looks like teams have already kind of started with the bans. First set, UKTR will be on the blue side, ITE will be red. They've got the Kaisa, Caitlyn, and Alistar bans, so looking like they want to try to get their bot lane ahead no matter what. Meanwhile, ITE Varsity also similar with 2 ADC bans of their own, taking out the Xayah and Jinx. But they are going to also remove the Nocturne jungle likely. So IIT going to look like they already securing their Zeri pick there for the bot to give to Zuriha. And then that Morgana on UKTR is interesting. As of this recent patch, actually, I know that they've buffed her jungle capability a little bit as well, so that could be a Morgana jungle of all things, potentially. Morgana, though, still effective though as a support. The spell shield really critical, especially if you have, you know, a high damage champion that's just jumping into the backline. Having that spell shield helps prevent any CC or stuns. That could be like an instant click. So it is still looking like it's going to be a Morgana support with that Ivern and Garen there picked up by UKTR for their first set of picks. So Ivern jungle with his unique clear pathing, you know, and then Garen top. We've been seeing some Garen tops at the World Series right now in 2023 taking place in South Korea with I think BDS's Adam leading that charge. Charging quite literally into the opponents with his Demacia and just cleaving right through the backline if you're not kind of respecting that distance and being able to expect your ADC to just handle it by him or herself though. IIT though is still looking like they want to go for a little bit strong engages with the Yone pick in the mid lane there for man, I believe it's Ryu's, right? Ryu's is our mid laner. Yep, so Ryu's going to pick up that Yone likely, or it could be flexed also to Oscar in the top lane, but that's definitely going to be a Rel support, I have to imagine. Rel jungle also capable as a jungler, but it is, I don't think I've seen IIT play a Rel jungle before, likely, so it's probably going to be in the support. But against a Morgana support, you know, you're gonna have a tough time trying to be able to like land the stuns unless you can get some sort of surprise flash maybe engage, or you're able to bait out her shield earlier and then you have the Rel to kind of follow up with that CC chain. Second set of bans though, IIT finishing out with the MF and Annie, so taking out a third ADC again and continuing to limit Quebec's ADC pool, and looking like they're taking away to Annie mid. We did see an Annie mid on Friday from WPI from Worcester Polytechnic from their opponent, but I think, you know, that was largely, I think, just due to the limited champion pool that WPI had, and maybe that it could be a similar story with UQTR. I think when I commented earlier, their mid lane Ziplio Wars, taking a quick check at that OPGG, Ziplio Wars does have a decent amount of anti-game span, 35 games there, and pretty big jump in terms of rank. Bronze to plat in 1 year is no small task for sure, at least in terms of improvement, but looking like that's for sure going to be taking out a comfort pick. We'll likely see an Ari or a Malzahar being played in that situation. But IIT, and then for UKTR, their last two bans are going to be the Azir mid and Diana jungle. So I think they realized that IIT looking like they, for what I thought was originally going to be the Rel support, they actually are going to flex that there onto the Rel jungle and have the Milio support. Meanwhile, UKTR going for the server bot, decent wave clear engage, of course, and that Gwen pick is interesting. I originally thought it was Garen top. I don't know if I've seen Gwen mids. I know Gwen top is the thing normally, but could it be a Garen mid? Perhaps, and you have the flexibility to go both top and bot to surprise your opponent. Definitely will want to keep an eye on the summoner choice as well for that Garen. If he is going for the mid lane, I would be expecting like some of those sorcery runes that gives him that river walking movement speed for sure, or like Deadman's for a build likely. He could even go for Ghost if he's like really trying to secure kills for his team, but definitely an interesting comp there for UKTR, and then ITE will finish it up with the Syndra mid. So looking like it's going to be Syndra mid, Yone top there. So Yone will be for the Oscar, not for Ryu's, and Milio support for Black Blank is looking like that's going to be the case. So both teams are already in there for the lobby. Let's switch up the screens a little bit, get into the official kind of pick band slide that we have there as we jump right into that. And so again, for those that are watching us live, appreciate you staying in touch with us. I'm trying to see at the moment right now, I want to make sure that my stream is still showing correctly. Okay, yeah, it looks like it's still going through, so I was worried for a second that the stream was still faulty. Looking like I don't have any delay, so if any issues with the stream, please let me know. I'll try to make sure I can respond accordingly. But as I was mentioning, you know, this matchup, these are best of ones, right? So you've got only one chance to prove it out there on Summoner's Rift when you're playing against these schools in this kind of round robin format, I believe. So do or die, no matter what, for sure. And that is looking like it's going to be the Gwen top and the Garen mid, as I mentioned earlier. I do appreciate Quebec, though, aligning their summoner names to be matching. That's some great synergy. Helps with that team bonding experience for sure. But Rel Jungle there for IIT is really unique. I don't think I've ever seen Ramasamy on the jungle before. I've seen our OPGG shows him with a good amount of Lee Sin and Diana games, but then again, UKTR did remove the Diana option, so IIT looks like they still want to have some tankiness still for their backline, for their front line, excuse me. So Rel able to provide that, but she does have a interesting kit that allows her to clear those multi-camps pretty quickly with her W and her Q empowered E AoE to help with her clear speed, but she's definitely not a damage dealer provider. One of the, at least I've been practicing Rel Jungle for the past month or so. Usually you go Radiant Virtue and kind of just let the once that ultimate kind of gets activated and you kind of help support your team with the healing ability that it provides. Milio as well with his W able to keep that Zeri healthy for sure. I think IIT has a lot of mobility with these options for sure, so they definitely have ways to disengage perhaps, especially after like a Sivir ult movement speed. I think the real test will be, what I think kind of the dark horse here is that Garen pick. What can IIT do to answer that for sure? Could it just be Syndra beating Leo Wars straight up 1v1? Maybe a lot of dedication from Rel perhaps. Not necessarily the most mobile of champs for Garen. It's kind of like once he gets that charge in, you're in or you're out. So we've got 10 seconds until we're hit with this 3-minute spectate delay. We'll go on to a quick break, and when we come back, UKTR versus Illinois Tech. Thanks. Alright, welcome back. Couple seconds until we jump into the rift, doing a quick alignment of the logos. I like UKTR's logo. That kind of green and orange is a nice kind of reminder. It kind of reminds me almost like the schools in Miami, in Florida. But let's jump right into it. Looks like we loaded up onto the rift pretty quickly. I remember that for Friday's game where there were some technical issues with some pausing, but not looking like that's going to be the case for here. So UKTR on the blue side, you've got Wolfsea on the Gwen top, Turtles with the Ivern jungle, Pleo Wars, Garen mid, Tabernataco on the Sivir, and Samaphobia on the Morgana support. And just as I'm talking about technical timeouts, you've got toilet issue from Black Blank. So Black Blank, Moon, my man, you are pulling out all the stops for today for what can for this weekend for what can go wrong for a game. But maybe it's the nerves, dude. Maybe it's the nervous poops. You know, that happens to anyone. But rounding out for the rest of the roster, for IIT, you got weak side enjoyer, Oscar there on the Yone top, Ramasabi with the World Jungle, Ryu's on the Syndra mid, Zuriha on the Zeri bot, and Black Blank on that Milio support. So I was talking about the summoners for that Garen, and just as I mentioned, you know, again, it's that ignite, you know, so not you're gonna definitely expect him like for those kind of just like roam and just dive right into the backline, put an ignite to scare you off. And you're looking at the runes for him though. He doesn't have that river walking one. Overgrowth, demolish will help him for sure in terms of just the laning, but uh, you know he's built for damage. He's built to try to live no matter what with that with the triumph for the health restore. So um, definitely trying to see if he can just straight up win in terms of 1v1 and damage potential. Syndra and Yonedo electing though for the more conservative kind of 5-man approach with the TPs, having that flexibility to have that ability to split push pretty hard, but still will have those summoners available for potential 5v5 fights. Zeriha going for the Ghost will be fine for Tazeri just for the mobility, and then Black Blink as well. We'll have the heal there to help her out in terms of a little bit of movement speed too, and I can't imagine Emilio buying anything besides Talisman or whatever is the movement speed and legendary for supports. Uh, looks like uh, we've resolved our bathroom issues and we're gonna load back onto the Rift shortly. But as these technical timeouts are, that's what it's for. um, but you know, things we'll want to keep an eye out for just while we're letting the game get settled back into its normal. It's like, I don't think any of these. Raul does have a potential for invade, um, but looking like UKTR is going to just split out 5 members to watch all of their entrances. IIT a little bit late in terms of their approach, but shouldn't be too much of a problem as they're not having to keep an eye out for any invades. Checking our Rift monsters available today. We're going to have the first one be the Chem Tank Chem Drag. But besides that, Ivern right now hovering towards the blue jungle. Any aggressive invade potential that could be done. Again, Rel not known particularly for like an insanely fast jungle camp clear. She does have the tools for it though, like with her AoE abilities. Uh, but we'll have to see what can be done for IIT, what they're thinking of for the first few minutes against these opponents. Looking like a bit of a rotation here, though, as they're actually going to allow the Gwen to go mid and Garen top instead for the Yone. So they're definitely flexing that pick around here. So doing a quick icon change. I'll put the Garen up there for now. But Yone versus Garen, I feel like Yone wins that in terms of 1v1 matchup. He will likely have that damage. Already another engage, pretty tough here for Zuriha. He wants to go all the way in. One more auto could do it, but the Zuriha range is just not far enough, actually forcing out the flash already within 2 minutes of the game. You're already having a lot of action there from the Hawks. Black Blink putting on his shield just to put a little bit of burn damage with his passive there, but things are already pretty exciting. Morgana not going to back, just going to bust open her 2 potions. IIT going to be hitting level 2 in the next 2 minions. Root will land on the Emilio. Tabernataco will land his Q on it, but IIT will be the ones that hit the level 2 first. Zuriha barely avoiding that. As she places Emilio places his, what's it called again? His campfire onto the Zuriha to just boost her back up. So, couple of DC issues though it looks like right now. A DC there from Yone causing the game to stop, so a lot of issues happening right now for the Hawks. Unfortunately, you know, I've got to imagine these guys are playing from their dorms, dorm Wi-Fi, fire alarm. We've seen it all, we've done it all, had it all. And just looks like it shouldn't be a problem though. Both guys are gonna just get back onto the rift settled. In terms of the camps, let's talk a little bit about our junglers. Ramasami gonna be clearing out his entire top side. Will have the red buff to keep him sustained. I think visually though, he does have the red buff, you just don't actually see it. I think that's just likely due to a spectate issue. Meanwhile, Turtles also finishing up his top side camp and going to be starting now onto that red buff. We'll be able to just look at it and go right into it, and look at that clear, already level 4. That's just the Ivern advantage there for sure. So even though with that fast clear time though, he will not be able to do too much with that, as IIT has already been pushed all the way up to their turret. But they will likely butt heads. Potentially Rel might see the Ivern come out pretty shortly. A smite there to secure. Turtles will be continuing to clear those camps pretty quickly. IIT limited in terms of vision. They've only got this ward right here there by the Raptors. So Turtles will be able to land that, and here comes the follow-up. Ryu is going to have to be flashing instantly out of that. He not want to get any sort of damage in that, and he is going to be expending that summoners right then and there. Meanwhile, Ramasami walking around here slowly. She does not have her mount. That is going to cause her to be pretty slow in her movement speed. I'm not sure in terms of the, invade. You should be knowing that the Ivern clear speed is just something you can't really contest here. So Ivern, meanwhile, going to grab his second scuttle shortly. And instead, Rel will elect for a quick back to pick herself a couple of ruby crystals, looking like... and Ivern will continue to aggressively just take away some camps here as he goes for that Raptors. Coming in around for the Syndra. Now Ryu's with no flash actually, but Wolfsy is low. Ryu's now actually completely in the process. Nice little dodge there to avoid it. Can Wolfsy be able to secure the first blood? Ryu's will have enough on the E just to barely get herself some CC, needing to buy some more time. Wolfsy trying to do what she can. Black Blink will be able to have the campfire on her, but it's just not enough healing, and that's going to be the first blood there for the Quebec team. Trois-Rivières. Zuriha now left on her own to defend, but against the Morgana Sivir, you have no form of spell shield. Could they go for a little bit more? Zuriha wants to. He's going to activate the Ghost. One more auto should do it, and that is going to be the kill on the 1v2. Well played by the Hawks there as they look to follow for more. Zuriha continuing to just pierce tons of autos onto the Sivir, but just over 350 HP, she'll walk away. And nice play there from the Hawks. That's our GM Zuriha showing up big on Summer's Rift today. Able to get a kill on her own, and she's going to just use that back to get herself the Berserkers for that movement speed. Weak Side Enjoyer now on his own, having his own issues right now, taking a decent amount of damage. Ultimate here used by Weak Side Enjoyer as well. Ramasami though, trying to see what he can do, but he does not really have the damage. Weak Side Enjoyer is going to have to come all the way back, and that's going to be the ultimate from Garen to get that kill. Unfortunately, just too much of a combo, and Ramasami unfortunately, this is the Rel problem. You just don't have that damage. Morgana coming all the way actually over here for Rome as well, just to help out. But that is going to be a tough break there for Illinois Tech solo laners as they struggle to make something happen there in the mid and top. So Ivern already with a 100% KD ratio is going to have that Bandle Glass Mirror, and just yeah, will be able to get a lot from that in terms of their top lane. IIT though wants to continue to go for a strong engage. Blackblade trying to put a couple of buffs onto the Sivir to try to help her out, but it won't be enough. Sivir gonna have to go all the way back into her tower. Will have to expend the flash in the process. But in terms of the damage done though, just because of the kills, you know, IIT though still maintaining an okay CS lead. So definitely Yone struggling in terms of the CS, but in terms of the gold, you know, that's the 2 kills does net the Garen a gold positive in terms of these two guys. So level 6 though there now for both top and mid. Level 7 actually just being hit. Morgana going to try to do what she can to hold the wave as Sivir decides to go back. And Zuriha will be having a wave and a half being pushed here up to the turret. Doesn't look like they want to go for any more in terms of getting plating, but instead set their sights onto the dragon. Meanwhile, weak side Enjoyer trying to do what he can against the Garen matchup. It looks like an even trade for the most part, but Wolsey going in for another engage. Will be able to land a CC, but will likely be another kill. Ultimate will go through, but it's not going to be enough. Gwen still pretty healthy. Blackblade though, meanwhile, wants to see if they can follow up. Will be stunned by Ivern. Ivern with no shutdown gold right now. But can they go for more? Heal actually being used by the middle. They want to keep going. Turtles will not fall in that process though. Still has a little bit of still healthy enough to walk away from that. But it is going to be the chem tank secured there for the Hawks, with looking like IIT going to be relying onto their bot lane here to be able to pull this off. To pull away a win here. Weak side Enjoyer there with a level advantage of all things, even with the deficit. So he is definitely confident in terms of his ability to CS. Pleo Wars definitely not having it easy in terms of the 1v1 laning. Looking like maybe UKTR is relying on that Ivern to provide the buffs, provide that tankiness, the shield, the Daisy, enough pressure there to keep them safe. I think in the long scale of things though, I don't think that strategy will work against IIT's bot lane. They're just too mobile to be able to like afford you any chase down. So really, I think your only option is like if you have enough of like some sort of engage, like a flash, Garen, silence or something. It's like pretty much like your only shot of being able to maybe secure a Zeri kill. It'll just be a big pester there for UKTR. They want to be able to catch her down. We're approaching 10 minutes into the game now, though. Things pretty even, you know. A couple kills there in favor for UKTR. And just as we talk about kills, there might be a couple more here. Stun landing there on Turtles will be completely silenced by the Garen. Weak side Enjoyer trying to do what he can. Ramasami will provide the CC stun, but this is a level 7 Ivern. It could actually be a kill straight up if you're not being careful. Ult being used there by the Garen. It won't be enough just yet. But Wolfsy will be able to secure the kill, and Ramasami, yeah, struggling with this Rel pick. I think maybe it just might be a champion he's not too familiar with, or just the pick and draft, it wasn't advantageous. Maybe IIT wanted to do the Rel bot, but they realized with the Morgana support it wasn't a good idea. I'm not sure if it was fully intended though, but it's definitely not having it easy though. Wolfsy going for the back, picking up herself the Codex and Blasting Wand will have a decent amount of damage to be able to handle her 1v1 as she uses the TP to get back into lane. Zuriha looking for another engage though as they continue to burn away, chip away at that Sivir health pool, empowered with the Milio campfire. IIT will be able to get themselves the first plate here, and that is now 6 kills to 1 in favor of UKTR, as both the top and jungle are definitely not having it easy. Yone actually, if we take a look at his item build, he actually is going for that call. So he definitely thinks that he needs to just focus on his CS. Will likely just not have the damage for the kills at this point. First legendary though, let's keep an eye on that. So Syndra, even with the 2 deaths, will have the Leandries in her kit as her first item. So she's not even going for the boots yet, actually. She just wants the legendary damage. Double wards being placed here on Tribush. IIT has the Rel floating around. Ivern is around the area, but I think UKTR has to drift on that. So Ivern's gonna able to get himself like 30 gold from that process with that control ward placement. IIT, I think, wisely decides to just back away. Let the Rel decide what she can do. Weak side Enjoyer. Wanting to continue to create problems though for the Garen as he continues to really be efficient with his wave clear. It kind of almost negates the Garen kills. I don't want to say that though. I'm not saying kills don't matter, but it definitely makes it so that the Yone is not as far behind as you think. It's only about 100, 200 gold differential there. Same with IIT's mid. You know, the 200 gold as well for Syndra versus Gwen. But looking like this stun will land from the Morgana. Zuriha looking for more. But yeah, IIT continuing to be a nuisance here for UKTR as they set their sights on the second turret plate, I believe, or third. Third turret plate. I think. Couple pings being used here. IIT gets to drift at the Rift Totals here, but again, this is both solo laners pretty like a little bit behind here. You know, if we're going for a 3v3 full matchup, would that be enough? Does IIT trust their team fighting ability to pull that off? Not too sure. Gwen gonna have to be using her already using her TP, is walking all the way back with the recurve bow. So I'm trying to think of what item that's gonna be. Ivern will have Daisy fall over in that ultimate process, and IIT setting up some vision here on the top side, but they are sending pings here for this Arcane Dragon. It's gonna be close. You know, what are gonna be the objective calls? Does UKTR want to go for the Herald to try to maybe get one of their solo laners ahead? Or maybe IIT wanted to just continue to just think about the more global objectives with another dragon in their arsenal. Turret plating is gonna be falling within the next 10 seconds or so, so the Rift Herald's not gonna be able to secure any more of that. Sorry, how nice little bit of dodging there to be able to avoid the Morgana Q. Definitely providing a lot of problems for UKTR. We'll see. Going in here will be instantly shoved back by the Syndra E. What's that ability called? Scattered Weak. But IIT looks like they are going to commit themselves for this Arcane Drag. And again, no TP from that Garen means that the Yone is going to be there if they need to make this a 5v4 fight. 800 health, but it will be secured by the Smite. Ramasami wants to go more as he's mounted up. Does have a little bit of the movement speed, but doesn't look like any further follow-up. So that's 2 dragons there to IIT's name, causing the map to shift into the Ocean format. So we're going to have... what does that mean again? Ocean Drag means... bigger bushes. I forgot, yep. Which is, I guess, to Ivern's advantage with his bushes as well, if we think about it. Wolfsy coming in all the way around. Another Scattered a Weak. Turtles will try to send out a root. Not going to land. Yeah, look at that shielding, man. That's like 200-300. You didn't even touch... You barely touched Gwen's health pool in that process. But the Leandry is doing its work, chunking her to about 1400 health. Meanwhile, IIT should be getting the alert that the Ivern's probably going to be coming up top as well, as they just passed by. So Oscar going to respect that. Going to let Turtles back here all the way. Placing a bush right here on top as well. And looking like they're going to go for the back. So the Yone will not have a TP to get back, so it is looking like maybe a first turret potential here. IIT sending a lot of pings here for his first turret bot as well, so it is going to be pretty close though. I think Zuriha and Emilio are just going to brute force and try to go for the fight right after. Here it comes. It's going to be flash from Tabernet Taco instantly, and I don't know. I think that was a huge misclick from Samophobia. She triggered her broken stopwatch. I don't know if they saw that. Ryu's here in a bit of trouble, having to flash out to avoid the Gwen ultimate. with her scissors shooting out. Ramasami flashing in, will be able to land a stun. Nice Q follow-up. Will it be enough? Scattered a weak. Bear is actually going to push out Wolfsy. The burn damage is going to keep her just above 50 HP. I think that might have just been a slight misplay from the Hawks. Ramasami missing out on one auto, maybe not wanting to give that kill over to Syndra, but that's definitely unfortunate. She did have 150 gold to her health pool. Zuri, though, wants to see if he can follow up with a kill on his own. Black Blank will be around. Pops a shield there for her. Another close dodge. These Morgana Qs are not having a fun time, but it is going to be first tower there for the Hawks. A second tower to follow up. The stun with Scattered the Weak will land on the Syndra. One more auto could do it. Black Blank with a delayed ultimate. I don't know if that was just off CD, but if she maybe placed it instantly right after, it could have been a kill. 5v1 here onto this Garen. Weak Side Endurer will actually flub his ultimate, and if Zuriha dies, that's going to be big for UKTR, but shut down there also there on the Garen. Ramasami running for his life as he is able to mount up, get a little bit of CC, but it's not going to be enough. Wolfsy now in a 3v1 position. Weak Side Endurer trying to do what he can, but the Scattered the Weak again on Tavern Taco is going to be enough damage. Yone trying to see what he can do in this empowered form is actually going to do a decent amount of damage onto the Morgana, but a lot of scrap fighting there for both sides, as you had a decent amount of shutdown gold happening all over the place. You had Zeri with her 150, you had 150 on the Garen. Is it going to the right people though? Yone definitely wants to have a little bit of gold in his name, maybe provide a little bit more damage for his 1v1 potential. So it's not like it's going over to a support or anything. But IIT trying to open up the map a little bit here now with 2 turrets in their name. Their own tier 1s though, pretty healthy, half health here for this bot, almost full for the mid, and just a quarter here for the top. So Zuriha wanting to be the one that's kind of there to open up the map for her team, but this Garen is proving to be a little bit of a problem with that Trinity Force. We talked about the flash engages though. Garen, you know, if you're not respecting that distance, he does not have his flash yet. He does have to ignite though. So members of IIT floating here around this Herald. A minute and a half until this Baron spawns, so if IIT wants to commit for it, they've still got about a minute left until they want to go for it. Rel is around the area, could be sending pings for that. Morgana is going to be around the area though to keep an eye on it. Rampage though, take a quick rewind there. Let's check out that. So Weak Side Endurer looking like he wanted to maybe, I don't know, I don't think he was ready for a 1v1. He tried it, missed a lot of his abilities there, but look at that thread from the needlework and just instantly control alt deleted with that Leeching Leer and an Asher's Tooth though. So Gwen now being a pretty big problem there with the 4-0-2. Syndra does have the CS, but right now she was pretty big on the last big team fight, providing the Scattered the Weak CC. IIT going to use that last minute to secure themselves that Rift Herald, but IIT going to need an answer for that Gwen soon. Meanwhile, UKT are going to retaliate with Ivern going here for an invade onto their blue side jungle. It is unfortunate for Ryu's. Blue buff would be really beneficial, but he's going to just settle for the buff. Morgana will just point blank land the Q right onto the Milio, and this is now instead UKTR putting the pressure now onto the Rel. Yone wants to go in for this damage, but Gwen is just trying to solo this dragon all the way, but secured by the Hawks there. Nicely played from them as the fight closes in, and the kills just come spewing out. Zuriha flashing in here for Samophobia, and that's going to be shutdown gold there. That's going to be dragon secured, and that's going to be 4 kills for the Hawks. Huge fight there to turn it around, as now IIT puts the gold lead in their favor. Nice smite secure. I'm definitely going to want to replay that later on when I do it. Actually, why not? Let's rewatch that because we don't have a second game. Okay, check out this. So half speed, like all right now, these 3 are just trying to CC this Rel to get her off, and they're just like, Gwen, just use your damage and kill this dragon as fast as you can. Ramasami forcing herself to W in all the way in. Ivern here with no smite. 58 HP smite secure, I think, from that. It was so close from these Hawks, but Ryu's and Ramasami just right in the middle of it just to get all of that damage in to secure that kill. So 58 HP, so close there for those guys, but that is the split-second decision making that kind of makes or breaks, you know, the higher teams. And My lordy, that is a big fight there that the Hawks needed. You know, I thought initially losing that Rift Herald was gonna, getting that Rift Herald was gonna mean sacrificing the Dragon, but IIT is like, we're not giving up that easily. Let's go for the fight. We're confident in our ability in team fighting, and that's going to be the Rift Herald securing the tier 2. Pleo Wars coming in here all the way around. Actually, Ryu's might be in a tough spot. She is gonna have to flash, but I don't think she's gonna have the trigger discipline to hold that in. Rift Herald will be able to be fallen before it breaks into that inhib, and IIT trying to strategize now what they can go for more. I don't think they're wanting to really go for a Baron fight unless they have the ultimates ready. They don't really have that damage to just take it down that fast, I think. So instead, a couple members backing off. You've got the IE for the Zuriha, Stormrazor. Those are big items there for sure. You know, taking a look at that gold lead, you've got 2.5k there for Zeri. She's feeling good about that for sure. And meanwhile, Gwen, unfortunately with that shutdown gold, actually lets the Syndra come back into the game with her own 1k lead. Taking a look at the top lane though, Hullbreaker there for the Yone. He is playing for the team, and he is going to provide that split pressure push here. Meanwhile, Wolfsy, mad about that 1v1, coming over here to the wall, trying to slice and dice up onto Syndra, but she'll be okay. She'll be able to maintain her mana pool with that blue buff. And no TP available to on Wolfsy's though, so I think Wolfsy wants to be applying the pressure to the bot. Maybe I don't think UKTR is in a position to go for Baron though, even with solo lane pressure from the Gwen. So I think IIT realizes that. They don't think they're going to go for it. So Yone just going to let his Hullbreaker do the work, let himself have the stats, have that split push pressure, and the fight continues on here. Hold on a second. Talking too much about our solo laners, but we got to put our attention back onto Zuriha. Zuriha coming in here all the way. He will know that the Morgana's around, and IIT looks like they want to activate this 2v2. The Shurelia's activated instantly as Zuriha looking for more. Will have the blue buff, and that will be the double kill there for Sivir as they make their work here. And this could be a Baron here, angle here for sure. Turtles trying to run as well, but his Daisy will fall into the process. Milio and Zeri just carrying IIT's weight here. Pink's coming in here fast forward to Garen. He is going to be pretty tanky though. Weak side Enjoyer will not have the ultimate, already spending it here, but Zuriha actually going to force Pleo Wars to flash out here. Will be taking a decent amount of turret damage, but here comes the dive. Zuriha taken already under half health. Will have the red buff to keep her stable though. So it will be looking like IIT just wants to shove their way here through this tier 1. It will be both members here. Hold on, Ramaswamy going to be silenced in this process actually. We'll have a little bit of shutdown goal. Will actually be able to land a stun, but that Garen's a little bit too tanky for your taste. But in the meanwhile, Zuriha trying to go for more. Here comes this big, the flash engages though. It will actually be Garen following that process. Can Milio keep up his rel? It actually will not be the Garen. 2 kills to his name. Double kill there for UKTR to cut themselves back in. Close here. I think you're Zuriha just not respecting the Garen solo queue, my man. It is close though for sure. Neither side wanting to give up this game too easily. There is an angle for sure where UKTR can get back in the game if the Zuriha continues. If Zuriha continues to not respect the Garen like that though. Nightwind42 saying, demanding disqualification because TP illegal for top laners. I think it's illegal if you're playing Mordekaiser, Nightwind. I think in this case, I think it's necessary there for the Yone to be able to have that split push pressure and be able to still be present for the team fights. But game will calm down for a few seconds, but don't be surprised with another set of fighting coming up in 45 seconds with this Ocean Drag, with that soul point available there for the Hawks. Ocean Drag would be big for them to continue their sustain. Gwen will have the TP available as well, so will the Syndra. So both sides ready if they need to just jump in at the aid for the 5v5 fight. Meanwhile, IIT going to try to see if they can control the river right here, getting themselves this scuttle here. Yone also will be in the background as well. TP here coming in for Gwen. They want to commit here. Hawks are ready, though. I think limited vision right now. Pleo Wars coming in all the way. Weak side Enjoyer is a little bit cut off here. The Ramaswamy still has the mount though to keep herself with that movement speed. So looking like a top-down approach here. Syndra though is actually going to elect to go for the back here, so she does have you know, the goal to get herself that Shadow Flame. She is going to have a definitely more damage than the Gwen here for this fight. But who's going to start it up? Pleo Wars will get a little bit of CC. Weak Side Enjoy going in for a 2-man ultimate, and the kills start coming through. Morgana will fall, and IIT's backline is protected in this whole time, and it will be 4 kills, 5 kills, and the ace for the Hawks. Is that just so much action going on? Triple kill there for Zuriha. TP there going to be secured, and it looks like IIT maybe wants to push their way in through here. My lordy, hold on. Let's rewatch that fight. It happened so much. It happened so fast I couldn't even keep track. Okay. Bush coverage here from the Ivern. Yone getting the 3-man stun plus the 3-man follow-up. Meanwhile, Sivir doing absolutely like nothing in this process. Already fallen with the Morgana. Black Flame having to flash herself out. Wolfsea and Pleo Wars, your 2 damage sources are just isolated right now, and Turtles being 1v1 by Zuriha. IIT's mid and top going against their mid and top, as Zuriha just lets herself handle herself with the support from Mitzi. And I don't know why you're walking in melee range here, but I guess maybe you just wanted to land that Q, but whatever. Clean enough fight there for the Hawks. Yeah, 0 damage output, just completely limited. I don't know if that was just timing or how they wanted to approach that fight, but IIT, meanwhile, ready to pull the trigger. All 5 members playing a pretty big part in that for sure. Tenacity boost as well from Milio, I think, also does its job in that process too. So, you know, what is that? It's you get the heal, 65% tenacity as well to stop you from any potential CC with the Gwen. Yeah. The problem with Ivern, you know, is like, you provide a decent amount of shielding and healing there in the early game for sure, but late game, it's just so much scaling, you know, so much damage that you don't that IIT can just burst right through that for sure. And even with the poor ward being spotted there, it will be IIT making short work here of this Baron as they hit their own Baron power play. But it's looking like everything here falling into IIT's lap here. Fights going in their favor, objectives going in their favor. It's definitely, IIT had problems for sure in their early game, I think, with their laning opponent. I think definitely the Rel pick not as beneficial in the early game. Definitely had a struggle. And in terms of the build, interesting as well. I did not think he was going to go for Even Shroud first item. I thought it was Radiant Virtue normally, but I think because like the only real AP damage is Wolfsea, that maybe the Sunfire Even Shroud maybe is a better choice. But I guess maybe they have like enough healing, I guess, with the Milio maybe, that they're just not afraid of it. Scatter the Weak will land here. Turtle is caught out of place as he's desperately trying to just get whatever camps that he can, but that's going to be a 35-second death timer. That could be the game, actually, as IIT looks to push it in. Garen, not sure what he's doing here, but IIT is ending the game, my friend. I don't know if that's part of the strategy or they're just not communicating, but another Scatter the Weak will not actually be able to land on Wolfsea. Zuriha flashing himself out as they're just going to try to burst it away, but the Milio health pool, and that's going to be 4 members taken down. My friend Garen, I don't know if that red buff is worth it or if he's just mad or tilted at his team. Probably all of the above, as they're trying to close it out here. 5 members here of Illinois Tech trying to close it out here at 27 minutes. Garen will try to do what he can, but it's a little bit too late, a little bit too little, too late, my friend, even with that red buff, and that will be the GG's coming out. 19 to 11, 54.5 to 43.5k gold lead there for the Hawks today. Nicely played. Way to come back too. Yeah, up to that 10-minute mark. Yeah, IIT, even with the kills, 6 kills to 1, like IIT good enough in their CS ability, good enough in their laning that like even with the kills they don't fall too far behind. And then yeah, Rel and the bot lane just able to get those early drags, you know, and unfortunately that third dragon was crucial, I think, was the break here. It was purely even up to this drag with the Rift Herald, and then just after that make or break point at the 19-20 minute mark, that's when just everything fell apart for the Hawks. I really think that they should have gone for the turn. You've got full health members here, like Ivern will keep you alive the entire time. Catch out the Rel here, control alt delete her fast enough, because she is behind in this situation right now, right? Like, she's 2k behind. She barely has a health pool just with Even Shroud, and like her kit's built for helping her team if she's by herself. If you get that kill early, I think you could have tried to go for a fight there because IIT's not really in the situation either. Like they're cut off here too. So I don't know. I think TP summoner wise, the Garen, I think yeah, I think he played it right for what he had in terms of just having to ignite pressure, and he was able to get his double kill to hold himself for the tier 1 top. But unfortunately, I think when it came to these objective plays, yeah, just UKTR not able to really, I think, come into agreement about how they wanted to approach that, for sure. Yeah, because if you get this catch, it's big. You don't. Whose smite was whose? I think it was Darrell's. Oh man, that's so close. But yeah, I want to see, cause like, okay, yeah, okay. Ivern has smite here. Okay, and then they're going down. They're going down. I want to see who smited first. I'm pretty sure it was Ivern. Okay, Ramasami's is here. Turtles is here. Okay, he already did smite. He did smite this one. 58 here. Zuriha still has his. I think did he auto it? No, he smited it. Okay, he won the smite fight. Nice play, Ramasami. I did not think that. I thought it was like a crazy auto or something, but no, like Ramasami literally had smite advantage for the 53 HP. That's so unfortunate for Quebec. Goodness. Yeah, and then yeah, I don't know if they got that kill, you would have had to smite secure too. But oh, man, yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I guess the call was that they just wanted to try to have Wolsey's damage, but that's tough. That was a big one that they lost out on, and then yeah, this roaming here around Vision for control for the Baron was also just like I don't know what's going on here. Uh, they tried to get a catch on the Milio, but like they know and they knew actually that Ivern was at his Krugs because they had a nicely placed ward there from Milio as well. So Himoon going on big for his team. It's like Janna 2.0, man. It's so annoying to play against. I can't really say it's like an expression of Summoner 1v1, but yeah, Wolsey and Pleo Wars definitely and Wolsey definitely like the star players for their team. They're like confident in taking 1v1s against IIT's like high elo players, but unfortunately their bot lane tried to, I think, build conservative, have the Silver Wave clear, just be there, put Spell Shield on one of their key players. So I think drafting wise, like they did it right. It was just like it was just the objectives. It was just like the objective mapping and the fighting after that kind of made it tough. Well, anyway, that's my post-game analysis. You're welcome for that. But let's see. Yeah, so it will be. We can take a look back onto our scoreboard. 1-0 in favor of the Hawks. So well played for IIT. Yeah, look at that damage pool. Zeri turning on big there. Having the armor pen, just yeah, and building that 1v2 juicy, also. So he is just even with like those moments of advantages, just UKTR spot lane could not capitalize on it at all. Practically non-existent in that game. That's the Zero Horizon or Flame Horizon, whatever gameplay there. GG's though. That'll do it for today. Appreciate everyone for tuning in for our cast. Uh, if you want to keep in touch with us, all of our socials there are on the bottom of our Twitch. And thanks for continuing to support the Hawks as they continue on a perfect win streak there for the CLoL Fall 2023 season. Have a good day, everyone.